A possible game changer for millions of potential home buyers who don't have the cash for a down payment. We're talking about a government program that allows buyers to obtain a second loan for that down payment.
And this means those who qualify could actually buy a home with no cash down. Here's NBC's Damian Trujillo.
There is a limit to the kind of home you can buy under this program, but because the loans are government backed, both the first and the second loan, the lender says the fears of investment are minimized.
So this is a great one here. This is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath in San Jose, listed at $799,000.
Mortgage lender Cristina Perez is looking at the Silicon Valley homes someone could buy under the so-called no down payment program.
And there's also one on Sunset for $770,000, 3-bedroom, 2-bath.
The idea is 2 loans, one for the mortgage, one for the down payment. Here's how the program works. The first loan is a federal loan, either FHA or VA. It's a 30-year fixed with a rate between 5.5% and 6.5% interest currently. The buyer would then pull a second loan from the National Home Buyers Fund, a nonprofit that promotes affordable housing. That is a 15-year fixed loan at 2% higher interest. In the end, qualifying buyers walk away with a home without a huge down payment.
Sometimes it sounds like too good to be true, Damian, but that's not the case.
Here are the requirements. The home must be worth no more than $832,000. The buyers must have a credit score above 580 and must prove a steady income and an income threshold that meets loan payment guidelines. Loans are not approved if the buyer expects to spend more than 45% of their income on the mortgage.
These are designed for those folks that are looking to step into the market, specifically first-time home buyers that have had a hard time saving money or that maybe don't have a perfect credit score.
Off camera, San Jose economics professor Dr. Robert Wood told me FHA loans are legit, but worries about the cost of added mortgage insurance the buyer has to pay for on top of the loan.
Y siempre fue uno de mis sueños conseguir una casa.
From his work truck, Kenner Juarez says it was always his dream to buy a home. Through the House to Home program, he paid $7,000 out of pocket for closing costs for his Oakland duplex.
It'll help people not wait and go into the market sooner and build equity and just start climbing that real estate ladder.
Perez also says there are safeguards in place to prevent a repeat of the 2008 market crash, a solution that could make it easier for those trying to make it in the Bay. In the South Bay, Damian Trujillo, NBC Bay Area News.
Another housing headline, Sebastopol is the first city in the North Bay to allow the sale of ADUs as separate homes. The city council approving the measure on Tuesday night. It implements a recently passed California law allowing the sales. ADUs, as you might know, are the smaller units built on a property with the larger family home. In Sebastopol, the median home price is around $1 million. Supporters say that separate ADU homes provide more affordable options for people being priced out. San Jose became the first city in the state to allow the sale of separate ADUs last year.
A follow-up now to a story we first told you about yesterday. Plans to close San Francisco's main immigration court later this year. Experts say it's expected to cause long delays for thousands of immigrants seeking legal relief. Investigative reporter Hilda Gutierrez has been covering the city's immigration court for months now. She joins us in the newsroom with more. Hilda.
Jessica, we first learned about the court's closure on Monday. Now the office that oversees immigration courts confirms the closure to our investigative unit. According to sources familiar with the matter, court employees were notified this week during a staff meeting, followed by a memo from the executive office for immigration review. Staff at San Francisco's immigration court at 100 Montgomery were notified the facility will be shutting down by 2027. According to this memo obtained from one of the sources, court employees are expected to begin relocating to the Concord Immigration Court as early as this summer. The announcement follows months of sweeping changes at the court, including staffing cuts and ICE arrest of undocumented immigrants carried out after their scheduled court hearings. Immigration attorney Millie Atkinson, director of the Immigrant Legal Defense Program at San Francisco's Bar Association, says, given the recent climate at the court, the news was not entirely unexpected. Still, she warns closing the court could indefinitely delay thousands of cases that were already rescheduled after more than a dozen immigration judges were abruptly fired last year.
There are 120,000 people with cases pending in the San Francisco Immigration Court. By comparison, there's about 60,000 cases pending at the Concord Court. So 120,000 people who were actively trying to pursue asylum or other forms of legal relief in their case are just going to have to deal with a little bit of chaos and confusion for the next year to year and a half.
By the end of this month, only 4 immigration judges will remain at San Francisco's immigration court, down from 21 before President Trump took office. According to the union representing the judges, most were fired without cause.
All right, Hilda, a quick question for you. A lot of changes in that court, but do we know why the court is actually closing?
Yeah, the Executive Office for Immigration Review, which oversees immigration court nationwide, did confirm the closure to us, saying they determined it would be more cost effective to relocate operations from 100 Montgomery to Concord, adding that they will officially notify all parties whose cases are reassigned. So if you are someone who has a case or you know someone who has a case, they will be notified.
Okay, thank you very much, Hilda.
New at 6, a push to crack a cold case. The mayor of Fairfield says one of her closest childhood friends was brutally murdered nearly 4 decades ago. The killer has never been caught, but the mayor wants to change that. Here's NBC's Jody Hernandez.
She was a kind, funny, always laughing, giggling about everything.
That's how Fairfield Mayor Catherine Moy describes one of her closest childhood friends. Moy has countless memories of her girlfriend, Bernadette Anderson, who she met at age 14, a girl who loved to pull pranks, including on family RV trips.
In the RV, we had this quirk, and that is that you should not flush the toilet when you were driving because it would stink up the whole place. So she would wait until we were down the road and she would go do it. And then she would die laughing.
The two were nearly inseparable growing up and even lived together in their 20s. But in December of 1986, at just 26 years old, Bernadette was found beaten to death. Her body tossed on a frontage road along Interstate 680. Investigators said she had been severely beaten and suffered head trauma.
I still can't believe it to this day. I can remember how awful it was, just like getting hit by a truck.
Moy says she's been haunted by the loss ever since. Bernadette's killer has never been caught. The case has gone cold.
I have to face another year not knowing who killed my girlfriend.
The mayor says she hopes to use her platform to renew interest in the case. Investigators say Bernadette was living with her infant daughter on Louisiana Street in Vallejo. She was last seen alive several blocks from her home 2 days before her body was found.
Please, if you know anything, please let us know, because she does deserve justice.
The mayor says Bernadette visits her in her dreams. She just dreamt of her last month.
She says she's okay in my dreams, but she knows that we're not okay. I'm not okay.
Mayor Moy says she will seek the help of private DNA experts in this new year. She says she will never stop seeking answers.
I'll never give up as long as I have breath.
If you have any information, you're urged to call the Solano County Sheriff's Office.
My heart will ever be broken until I meet her again.
In Solano County, Jody Hernandez, NBC Bay Area News.
Well, they say it's a matter of life and death. A firefighting family is begging for San Francisco for help. Former San Francisco firefighter Ken Jones has stage 4 lung cancer. He believes it's connected to his 17 years on the front lines fighting fires. His oncologist at UCSF says he needs a specific course of treatment involving chemo and immunotherapies. But the city employee insurance plan run by Blue Shield of California denied the coverage. The doctor's appeal that followed as well, saying the regimen wasn't a standard course of care. Jones was at City Hall today, fully masked, as his family and members of the public asked the city's health insurance board for help. His wife and daughter begged the board to pressure Blue Shield to reverse that decision.
That denial is causing serious harm to Ken's health and is now threatening his life.
My father is a retired firefighter, and now when he needs the help the most, the insurance company provided by this city through Blue Shield is denying him the medication his doctors say is necessary to keep him alive.
Blue Shield, in a statement, tells us it cannot discuss patient cases because of privacy law, but said it is committed to work with regulators at San Francisco's Health Service Board to address any insurance issues raised by city employees.
It's the final act for a well-known movie theater. The once popular, locally owned theater is shutting down for good. Our business and tech reporter Scott Budman is at the Pruneyard in Campbell.
It's a big open field. We gotta get across it.
It's the newest movie playing at the Pruneyard Cinema, but it's also one of the last. The Pruneyard has been showing silver screen offerings for more than 5 decades here, but the curtain is now set to come down for the last time January 25th. Lori Beveridge just found out it's about to close.
This has always been a special, family-oriented community location to enjoy movies.
It survived the pandemic, the Hollywood strikes, and an era of fewer movies in theaters.
We're proud of that. But in, the near term, it's just not enough.
But co-owner Peter Lebo says it's gotten harder to pay the bills.
This has been an incredibly difficult decision for us to make. We don't want to close. We'd prefer not to close.
Which brings us to the elephant in the room. In the era of Netflix, do we really need to come to places like this anymore? I mean, do you really want to leave your house, drive to the theater, buy tickets, when just about any movie you could ever want to watch is playing anytime and anywhere you want to watch it? Some say the economics, especially in a high-rent district like Silicon Valley, don't add up.
They weren't a national chain with, Cinemark or AMC that has the ability to cover overhead in ways that a small mom and pop theater, but like a small mom and pop theater with only one theater and one screen can act and exist in a niche that probably can survive.
But lots of movie fans say they'll miss this local theater.
I really enjoy going to the movies. I think the experience of being in the theater and the snacks and all of that, I would miss it.
In Campbell, Scott Budman, NBC, Bay Area News.